when we're practicing these nice slow movements, it's more about pairing the breath with your, so breath follows millisecond after movement. And so, movements follows millisecond after breath. And so we want to just take that time to step back into the passenger seat. And instead of the yogis call it the monkey mind, you know, like the mind wants to just jump around all different topics all the time. And, you know, if we just take that passenger seat and we lean back a little bit, that's a really amazing way for us to really start to slow down and settle down. And it's humbling. That's how we develop our humility, is just to shrink the ego back down a little bit. It needs shrinking down. We do need our ego for all kinds of things, defense, survival, all kinds of things in this life. But it's really easy for the ego to grow and skew in dysfunctional ways. So I have 2 blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, that is a-okay. I just recommend, so I'm also sitting up on a big old cushion. The thing that I want to do with blocks is something for the spine, to curve the spine. So if you even have like a firm blanket that you can roll up, or even towels, something along those lines, as many pillows. And today I'm going to use the scarf. So if you have a strap, a yoga strap, use that. Otherwise, grab a scarf or a dog lead, a belt, something that resembles this, something quite long that can go quite long when it's doubled over. So just for now, I'm going to put that aside, and I invite you to find a seat that is comfortable for you, that you can sit in for a few minutes. So this could be in a chair. You could sit Japanese style, just sitting on your heels. Sit on as many cushions as you need in either one of those seats, or a cross-legged position. You could be leaning against a wall or a couch or something behind you. So we're going to close the eyes down and bring the hands to the belly. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. So inhale, feel your spine lengthen as your crown lifts towards the sky, towards the heavens. And then as you exhale, let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Keep a slight pull of the belly or the lower rib cage towards the spine. Relax the jaw and the neck, the back molars. And then inhale, deep breath all the way into the bottom of the belly. Feel the belly press against the hands. Feel the warmth of the hands radiating into the belly. That healing energy, that self-sourcing healing that every one of us has access to. When you think you've fully inhaled, take another little sip of breath up into the chest, and then exhale all the way out. So we're activating Ujjayi breath, that little constriction in the back of the throat. It's like a ha, an HA sound, but we do it with the mouth closed. So breath moves in, starts to sweep up any debris, and just notice any areas of restriction in the breath. If there's any tighter areas in the rib cage, at the back or the sides or the front. And then exhale all the way out. Really start to lean into your body. Settle into this space and your seat, and really allow yourself to arrive. Take a regular inhale all the way in. And exhale out. We're going to move onto the floor and do more breath work. I just wanted to do that little grounding and arrival practice. So shift your props out from under you at this point, and we're gonna lie ourselves down. I'm gonna turn around this way. We're gonna lie ourselves down, and that's a little trotting sound of the dog. So lie yourself down, plant your feet on the floor. Your hands can be wherever feels comfortable. You can keep them on the belly if it feels good to have that physical connection when we're doing deep belly breathing. You could have the arms up above the head, just down by the sides. So inhale, take a deep breath in. Feel the breath swell up into the belly. I invite you to have your eyes closed down. And then exhale, press the air up and out of the body. Feel the connection of the soles of your feet to the earth. Actively press the feet just gently into the earth so that it's deliberate. You know, we're not just dumping weight into our ankles. We're not just letting the knees flop around. We're not working hard, but we are deliberately pressing our feet, connecting to the earth. Inhale, deep breath all the way to the bottom of the belly. Follow the breath up as it moves up through the rib cage, the side rib cage, the back of the heart, up into the collarbone. And then exhale. Feel the weight of your body and the points that are touching the earth. Lean into the earth. Any toxicity we have hanging around as tension in the body is able to move out with the exhale when we practice this pranayama, these deep belly breathing exercises. Inhale. Exhale. Ujjayi breath, the oceanic yogic breath. Inhale. Exhale. So we're going to add on a little bit here. So with the arms, wherever you want them, I like to have mine above the head, but you can place yours wherever feels comfortable. Any one of the options I've already offered. So on the inhale, we're going to kind of tilt the sitting bones. So it's like a cat-cow, but we're lying down. If you know what cat-cow is, if you don't, doesn't matter. So when we inhale, we gently tilt the sitting bones and create a little arc in the back. We're more trying to puff up the chest than we are trying to bend the lower spine, but it will bend as well, just a little. We'll create more of a gap between the floor and the low back. And then on the exhale, we're going to press that gap out and keep gently pressing the feet to the earth. Squeeze the belly up and in. We're going to go just until the sitting bones start to lift off the floor. And then squeeze up and in, press all the last little bits of air out the low core, and then inhale. Puff up into the chest. Tilt the sitting bones towards the earth and lift the heart up, open to the heavens, and then exhale, squeeze the belly up and in as you press to the feet and press to the low back. And we're starting to tuck under until just before the hips want to lift. You're still pressing into the feet, squeezing through the core to press the air out. And again, inhale. Tilt. Puff the chest, heart to the heavens, and then exhale. Press, feet, squeeze, core, hover sitting bones. And again, inhale, puff the chest, little tilt of the sitting bones. And then exhale, this time we're going to press. and lift up and let the hips come up. So it's as high as they can go just at this point. We're not that warm, so they might not go that high, and that's okay. We don't want to have pressure on the low back. We want to be using the core and pressing to the earth so that the glutes and the hamstrings activate to hold us here. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. So we start to get a little massage on either side of the spine. Nice. Lower yourself down gently as though you're placing a baby down in a cot. So bring that same gentleness and care to your own body. Inhale, tilt the sitting bones, puff up into the chest. And then exhale, press low back to the earth, press feet, squeeze core. Activate glutes and hamstrings as you press the pelvis towards the sky. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. And again, inhale. Tilt, puff the chest. And then exhale, press feet, squeeze core, lift up, squeeze glutes and hamstrings. Nice. Inhale here. And exhale, lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Nice. Hug your knees to your chest. Inhale. Rock yourself side to side if that feels good. Exhale and see if you can just breathe here and see if you can pedal out your feet. Just got a good crack. Roll out the ankles. So just moving into the ankle joints to try and loosen them off. So a lot of us spend most of our time with our feet in that flexed position, either sitting, standing or walking. So really give them a chance to move around within the range of the joint here. Every bit of range in the body that we have, the body wants to move into those spaces. And so if we're repeatedly only following different like one or two lines of movement, the body will stiffen and tighten, and it doesn't like it. It likes to be mobile. So we're going to roll onto the left-hand side. So roll onto your left side and just rest your head in your left hand. You're going to stretch into the hip flexor here. So inhale, take a deep breath here. And then exhale, we're going to grab onto this right foot with the right hand. If you can't reach, if that's not available to you, just back your butt up against the wall or the couch, a piece of furniture that's stable behind you, and press the top of the foot into it instead so that you can start to get this stretch through this hip flexor. It really doesn't matter if you can grab the foot or not. The point is getting this stretch here. Try not to let the knee flare up. Try and keep it in line, so about sitting bone distance apart between the knees. Inhale, take a deep breath here. Whichever variation you're taking, exhale, just gently press the pelvis forward but squeeze the belly up and in. And you can also be pressing the foot into the hand. For 1. 2. And 3. So gently come out of that. So without slingshotting the foot, just gently move it back into position. Inhale and exhale. We're going to switch sides so you can roll straight over. I'm just going to turn around, so lying onto your right hand side this time. Rest your head in the right hand. And just arrange yourself so whichever variation you're taking, you could also use your strap here, so your scarf, and hook it around. It's just a little bit tricky trying to catch the foot, and it can just be a bit easier to use the wall behind you. So just grabbing on to the foot Gently press that left foot into the left hand. Inhale. Exhale. Also squeeze the belly up and in and press the pelvis forward. For 1. 2. And 3. And gently release that foot, so place it down. Inhale, take a deep breath here, and then exhale, just coming onto your belly. So we are going to start just a little gentle floor flow, but before we do that, let's just extend into that upper spine a little more. So inhale, take a deep breath here, and exhale, press into your palms, soften through the shoulders, and press your pelvis into the earth a little. Your toes are pointing out to either side, so our hips are externally rotated. Inhale, start to lift up, and exhale here. So press the back of the head and the back of the heart back in space behind you, shoulders drop. If you feel really comfortable there, you can move the hands further. Try not to lock out those elbows. Keep that core switched on. Inhale, big stretch through the belly, that deep core line, open the heart. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly lower down. So stack the palms. Rest the head on the stacked palms. Lift the legs. Inhale. And exhale. Just rock those feet side to side. So backward windshield wiper. Inhale. And exhale. And gently release the feet down. Plant the palms, so wrists stacked under elbows or somewhere in that vicinity. Inhale. And then exhale, press up to hands and knees. And come to sitting on the heels. Nice. If that's available to you, if this is too much pressure on the feet, just come to standing on the knees. And sitting up onto the heels. And prayer to the heart space. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. So inhale, prayer reaches high. Exhale, prayer to the heart space. Inhale, prayer reaches high. Exhale, float the hands down beside. Inhale, prayer reaches high, look up. Exhale, prayer to the heart space, come to standing on the knees if you're not already. Hands to the earth, tabletop position, inhale. Exhale, press back, child's pose. Inhale, come forward. This time, come further forward past the hands. Keep the belly up and in, lift the toes, press the heart forward. Soft shoulders. And then exhale, press back, child's pose. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Inhale, sit up onto the heels, scoop and gather all the energy of the universe. Not that anyone could handle that. And then exhale, prayer to the heart space. Inhale, prayer reaches high. Exhale, float the hands down. This time come to standing on the knees. Inhale, prayer reaches high. Exhale, bring the prayer down through the heart space, then make your way back onto hands and knees. Inhale, press back, child's pose. And exhale here. Inhale, come forward, heart presses forward, lift the toes. Keep pulling the belly up and in. And then exhale, press back, child's pose.
Inhale, deep breath here. And exhale, long breath out.
Inhale, sit up onto the heels, scoop and gather all the energy of the room. Prayer to the heavens. Exhale, bring it in towards you. You've got to grab it onto opportunities before someone else does. Nice. Inhale, come to standing on the knees. Prayer reaches high. Exhale, prayer to the heart space. Hands to the earth, tabletop position. Inhale. Press back, child's pose. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. So lift the toes, keep the belly up and in, press the heart forward, soft shoulders. And exhale, press back, child's pose. Inhale, rise up to the heels, scoop and gather all the energy of the room. Exhale, prayer to the heart space. So we're going to use this strap now. So grab onto your strap or belt or whatever you have that resembles it. And then again, we're going to come to lying on the belly. And just get your strap or whatever you have into a loop position. And then we're going to hook it around the right foot. So this can be tricky, but once we get it, this works. So you might lie on your side first, and just to get in a position where you can hook the strap around the foot, and then just grab on and come back onto your belly and slide your hands up again. So you've got a fair bit of leeway and a nice long loop going on. There we go. And then so ultimately you want it to be long enough so that it can come over the shoulder. So there's a fair bit of space here. So from here, just gently get your pelvis nice and aligned, so nice and square on the floor, and activate your core. So we don't want to be putting pressure on the low back here. We want to gently press. So gently press the pelvis towards the floor, but you'll feel your belly pull away and you get a core activation here. So then grab on with both hands onto your strap. And inhale, take a deep breath here. And then exhale, start to press the foot into the strap. Lift the hands up. So we're getting into the shoulders as well as the hip flexor here. For 1, keep pressing it away. 2, keep your core switched on. And 3, exhale all the way out. And then slowly bring it back down. Just hold it here for a moment. You can rock the hips side to side. Inhale just to loosen it off. And exhale. And inhale, lift the hands back up. This time, see if when you exhale, you can walk the hands a little closer to the foot. And then inhale, lift it up. And exhale here. For 1. 2. And 3, bring it back down. Inhale, it's quite strong on the back. And exhale. Sometimes the floor work, some of the floor work looks easy, but there's a fair bit going on there for the body. So keeping the strap here, but this time we want to just stay low. And ultimately, we don't want the shoulders involved in this next one. It's really just about pulling on to the strap, squeezing the knees towards each other, not totally together, but towards each other, and pressing the hip flexor to the floor to get into the quad and hip flexor. And this is one where if you can reach the foot, you could instead just do this with your hand. And we want to just press the heel towards the sitting bone and even just a little bit past the glute towards the floor. So inhale, take a deep breath here. And exhale out, press it. Inhale. If you want to be fancy, you can turn the hand around. Exhale. 1. 2. And 3. Gently release. Nice. Stack the palms, rest the head, lift the feet, inhale. And exhale, gently rock the feet side to side. Inhale. And exhale. Let the legs go long. Plant the palms, inhale, tuck the toes. And then exhale, press up. Nice. So from hands and knees, we're not finished with that right leg. So I want to just open a little into the hamstring. So inhale, extend through the right leg. And then exhale, turn the right toes out. You could just slide it along the floor if you want. But if you want to work a little harder, lift it up and place that right foot outside the right hand. So inhale, lunge forward, lunge into that front knee, and then exhale, flip the toes, bring it back. Hamstring. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, drive back, flip the toes. For 2, inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, flip the toes, sit it back. For 3, hold it here. Inhale, see if you can go lower. Use props under the hands and elbows if it's too tight for your hips and hamstrings. Lean here instead with a pillow. Inhale, get lots of pillows if you need them. Or lean onto a chair. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press back up into the hands. On the exhale, we're gonna slide all the way back and sit down. Yes, right here. So the left foot is bent back, but if your knees are dodgy, just have it like this instead. But if your knees are okay, have that left ankle belt bent back. Inhale, take a deep breath here. And then exhale, hinge from the hips and fold. And again, we can use props here to lean onto. But if you have more range, you can come all the way forward. And you can even hook around. So hook the hands around the foot. Inhale. Exhale. 1. 2. And 3. Inhale, slowly rise back up. And exhale here. Bend the right leg in and then swing it under to come back to your hands and knees. Inhale. And exhale, sit up onto the heels. Prayer to the heart space. We're going to do all of that on the second side now. So come back to lying on your belly and grab your strap again. And then from here, so get that loop happening again. And this time we have to hook the left foot with the strap. So rolling over a little, whatever awkward position you need to get into to hook that foot. There we go. And then grabbing on with both hands, but let the hands slide up quite a long way. Keep the knees pretty close together, so like a sitting bone distance apart. And then inhale, take a deep breath here. So just make sure the pelvis is stable. On the exhale, just gently pressing the pelvis towards the floor and feeling the low rib cage kind of pull in and activate that core. So hands up to the top of the strap, inhale. And then exhale, press the foot into the strap and lift it up. Inhale. Exhale, strong back. 1. Nothing lasts forever. Stay here. Strong core. Inhale. Exhale, open hip flexors, open shoulders. Exhale. Bring it down. And then you can just gently shimmy the hips if you want. Inhale. And exhale. And again, so grabbing onto the strap. And then this time, we want to walk the hands up a little further, only if it is possible for you to do this. If it's not, don't push or force. So take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lift it up. Nice. For 1. Beautiful. 2. And 3. So slowly bring it back down. And again, you can rock the hips side to side just to loosen off the low back. Inhale. And exhale. So the final stretch from this position is this time just pulling on the strap and trying to get the foot as close to the sitting bone as possible. And again, keeping that pelvic stability by gently pressing the pelvis towards the floor and getting the belly nice and active. So the core is really supporting that whole area. If you have range, you can ditch the strap at this point and then just grab on with the hand instead and really just pressing the heel just outside the left glute towards the floor. If you're fancy, you can turn the fingers around. Inhale and exhale. 1. 2. And 3. So gently release the foot. Nice work. Plant the palms, inhale. And exhale, press it up. And stay here. Tabletop position. We're going to inhale, extend the left leg straight back behind. And then exhale, turn the left toes out to the left. You can just slide the foot along the floor if you want. But if you want to work a little harder, keep it up nice and high as you bring it around and step it outside the left hand. Beautiful. So inhale, lunge into that front knee. Exhale, send the sitting bones back, flip the toes. Hamstring. For 1. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, drive it back. 2. Inhale, bring it forward. And exhale, drive it back. For 3, so holding here, nice big stretch into the hamstring. And again, if you want to use a prop here, if you need to be high because the hips and hamstrings are tight, that's totally fine. I very much recommend you do that. Inhale. Open the hamstring, exhale. 1. 2. And 3. So you inhale, press back up, bring it forward again. Shift your prop out of the way if you're using one. And then this time exhale, sit all the way back. So I'm just going to come forward a little to do this. So keep sliding, keep going all the way and sit yourself just on the inside of the right ankle. And again, if your knees are no good, for that kind of movement, you can keep it up here or just let it go out to the side in this direction. But if your knees are okay, let's do this one. Knee joints don't always love this, but they do. It doesn't always feel like amazing. And that will mostly be because we don't do it enough. And so, but actually the knee joints, as I was saying before, every range of motion that we have, the body does want to be moved in that way. So inhale, take a deep breath here, get long in the spine. And then exhale, hinge from the hips. And then again, you can be leaning onto a prop here. You could use your strap to hook around the foot just to help you get that folding happening. We want to keep the spine quite long and rather than hunched. And then again, if you can hook the hands. Inhale, take a deep breath here. And exhale, fold. For 1. 2. And 3. So inhale, slowly walk the hands back up. And then exhale, shift your left foot around, sneak it under the right, come back to hands and knees, and then sitting on the heels. Inhale, deep breath here. Exhale, long breath out. If you kept up with all of that, well done. For the final part of the class, the next bit I'm going to do is going to be using blocks. So I'm going to do a Stairway to Heaven, and so it involves 2 blocks, and it involves like opening up through the chest and the back of the heart. And in yoga we call those extensions or back bends. It's more of an extension because we want to extend the spine. We don't exactly want to bend into the back, especially not the low back. So if you don't have yoga blocks, that's okay. Now's a chance to quickly go and grab something if you didn't before. And even like rolled up towels or rolled up firm blanket or just something firm that can go behind the spine and behind the head. So grabbing onto your yoga blocks or whatever prop you have instead. I'm going to shift the sitting bones to one side of the ankles and bring the feet out in front. Shift yourself forward enough on the mat so you've got space to lie down behind you. Bring one block or substitute prop behind you that when you lie down will be about level with the back of your heart or in between the shoulder blades. And then the second prop you may or may not use at all, but that will be lower. It could even just be a pillow. Yes, Henry? Have you got something you'd like to say? So this prop here could be a little bit lower. Let's just see what's happening up here. Oh, you're doing your down dog. Are you showing everyone how you do your down dog? So to do this, I tend to grab on. You might just use your hands here to gently lower yourself down. And hopefully you've got it aligned. If it's not properly aligned, just lift up and shift forward or back and find that right position. So just at the back of the spine, the back of the heart there. And then just letting the head come down onto something. So if it's okay to let the head go all the way down, we just want to make sure that the neck is properly supported. So there's little vertebrae at the top of the neck, the cervical spine, cervical vertebrae. They're much smaller than most of the other vertebrae in the whole spine. And so we just always want to be careful of the neck, especially if we have neck problems. So I always get something under. Even though this block's a little high, I'd rather be on the safer side than put extra pressure on my neck. And then from here, you just let the hands open. So it's a big chest opener. Now, if you want to step this up a little bit and intensify it a bit more, we can also do the hips. So soles of the feet together, knees go wide. And coming back to those deep belly breaths that we were doing at the beginning of class. So inhale, deep breath. all the way to the bottom of the belly. Breath comes in, sweeps up any debris. And then exhale out any toxicity and tension that we gathered in our day, week, year, life. Inhale. Exhale. Opening the chest and the heart. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we open the heart, we open ourselves to a world of possibilities. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just coming back to a softer breath now. Your own breath pace. See if you can observe the breath as though you're trying not to disturb it, as though you don't want it to notice you watching. And see if the breath can be so smooth and soft that it creates as little movement as possible in the body. Other than stretching a little into the belly and the chest as it goes in, and then sinking them back down as it moves out. So when you're ready, we're going to slowly and gently move out of this. So if your knees are out to the sides, start by gently bringing them back together. Planting the feet. A nice way to come out of this can be to roll to one side, but I just like to plant my hands. Just be gentle with the neck, so you might use your hand to lift the head up and then help you come up onto your elbow nice and softly. Just being really gentle on the body here. Slowly sit yourself up, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. But I'm going to invite you to get a big old pillow stuck behind you. And then sitting in this position, if it's okay for your knees, if it's not, you can instead just have your feet mat width apart and knees knocking in together. That's really nice to relieve the low back. But if your knees are okay, other than just feeling a bit uncomfortable, I recommend coming into this position, and if it's like really painful on the ankles and whatnot, then just get heaps of pillows under the bum instead and just practice kind of leaning back onto the hands. Choose a variation that you can get reasonably comfortable in though, so don't try to do something that's just really uncomfortable and pushing and forcing. This part of the practice is more about relaxation and trying to settle ourselves down and bringing kindness and compassion to the body. So you can either just sit back and breathe here, even leaning on a couch or something soft behind you can be a nice way to practice this, so you can relax the arms and neck and shoulders more. But if you're okay and you have range, then you can come to lying down on some pillows. The hands can be by the sides, out to the side, or up above the head. Come back to those long, smooth breaths. They're discreet and soft, but deep, fulfilling breaths. Notice how it feels to be in your body. And any areas of extra tension or gripping, see if you can channel an attitude of compassion to that area. So maybe a similar feeling to how you might feel when you see a kitten or a puppy or a baby, anything that's really quite innocent and just vulnerable. If you can bring that same sense of compassion or adoration or whatever you might feel, fondness towards that kind of being, see if you can offer that attitude to yourself when you feel sensitive or gripping or tension or resistance, either physically, emotionally, or psychologically, mentally. And as you offer that sense of compassion and that feeling of fondness and gentleness, can you also channel the breath into that area to offer this great sense of healing? So getting ready to come out of this now, and again, we don't want to rush out. We want to take our time, be kind and soft to the body. So again, I like to just go with what's easier for you, but make sure you're not just relying on the lower back to pull you out. Use your core. So I like to press actually into my feet and then into the earth and lift up. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come out and move your sitting bones to the earth. I just like to kind of walk my feet out on the earth after that, just because my knees are usually screaming something at me, be like, I'm open. Those hinge joints are now open. So just bringing some gentle movement into that area. And then lying yourself all the way back down. I'm gonna bring a little twist just to counteract that slight opening into the back. So inhale, hug your knees to your chest, and then exhale, open your hands out to a T shape or a cactus shape, and lower your both knees down to your left hand side. And if this is quite a pull on the low back, get that pillow under these knees instead and have them just resting on pillow or pillows. But if they're okay to come to the floor, come to the floor. Another option here is just to extend this top leg up into the hand. Look over to your right hand side. Inhale. Exhale. 1. 2. 3. So gently bring this top leg back in. Inhale, knees come back to center. And exhale, lower them down to the other side, so your right hand side. Gonna have to move this. So same as what you did on the other side, either a prop under the knees, We're staying here, or maybe extend that top leg up into the top arm. Look over to your left. Inhale. And exhale. 1. 2. And 3. Bend that top leg in. Inhale. Come back onto the back. Give yourself a hug, knees to your chest. And then exhale, send the legs long. Take a big stretch out. So hook your thumbs. And then stretch your toes away from your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, float the hands down beside you. Shavasana. So I always recommend here getting a pillow up under the knees. And maybe a blanket over you, depending on what part of the world you're in and how cold it is or is not. Palms face up. And this is literally called a corpse pose because it is a practice of absolute stillness. So the only movement is a gentle, deep, fulfilling breath moving in and out of the body. And I recommend staying here for 5 to 7 minutes, or for as long as you have in your day right now. Really lean all of your weight into the earth and notice how the earth holds you unconditionally. And so if you're coming with me today, in a short Shavasana, we're going to gently start to deepen the breath, bring some movement into the body. And then roll over onto, well, the left-hand side, although I'm going to my right. But it is the right-hand side. I have my yoga brain on now. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Press into the left hand, keep your eyes closed, make your way up to an easy seat at the front of your mat. Prayer in front of the heart space. Head bows down in reverence of your higher self. That inner knowing that we all have, inner wisdom, part of you that knows better and knows the truth. Outside of the ego, which constantly demands gratification, short-term gratification. Raise your prayer to your third eye for clarity of thought. To your lips for truth and honesty. And to your heart for love and compassion. Namaste.